Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday. My brain wants to think it's Wednesday, but yet here we are, Tuesday. And I think it has to do with some fast moving energy today. There's an 8 energy day that can feel like things are quickly moving, wanting to pull us in momentum and quickly showing us where we may be out of alignment. So, if you're tuning in today, let me know how you're feeling. Like, are you feeling centered within yourself? Are you feeling a call to go even deeper in your devotion, in your partnerships, with yourself, with your higher source, with your inner guidance? Is there a call to, no more messing around? It's time to devote that time. That can be felt today. Hi, L. Odin. You're at school waiting to pick up your loves. Happy 8 day. Well, happy 8 day to you because you're my 8. So I'm feeling into the energy, and I was thinking today, what's the message? I always ask myself when I feel into the contract energy of today, which is a 2 of spades, and the daily energy, which is an 8, and how they can be showing up in life. And one of my favorite things to do in this devotion is now kind of checking back in at the end of the day. How did it play out? It didn't have to mean anything going in, but with the awareness, what did I notice? And what do I want more of? And so I took that into conversation today, as I got ready for this, and I was writing some notes, and I'm like, all right, well, what is really showing up in the body with the body aspect of numerology today? Because that's where I really love to play. I love to get really tuned in to what's happening in our body, in our mind, that's preventing us from the things that we're wanting, so we can navigate through that and use these beautiful empowering decisions, this empowering energy that's available to us to have our highest and best outcome for the day. But that's going to require some conscious awareness. It's going to require of us to be aware of what we are feeling and what we're liking. And we're always really aware of what we don't want, but let's talk about what we do. So let's talk about, what is your essence? And do you know what your true essence is? Because as I was feeling into this, I feel so much of the world right now, and so much of the burden, and so much of the burnout, and the exhaustion, and the overworking, and trying to do it all, and trying to keep up with this feeling of momentum that can oftentimes spin us in the overwhelm, in the overthinking, and keep us looping to where we are exhausting ourselves. And as humans, we're going to find ourselves anywhere in between these energies. Also, so much awareness today about what I really want to do and what feels really good in my body. It's been really quiet and an intimate day with Source. Thank you for saying that, because that's the second part of the day, is the 2 of spades. It's really inviting us into devotion and commitment to that inner connection, to reconnecting within us. What are we devoted to when it comes to our higher connection, our higher self, a higher source, God, universe, whatever that is for you, whatever that higher something is that you feel within? The energy of today is really asking for us to devote time to that, to sit, to be with it, to establish and reconnect this relationship. The 2 is offering a reminder that we're in partnership, right? We are mind, body, spirit. And so often we're so busy in our mind, we're disconnected from our body. We're disconnected from our relationships in the world around us. We're disconnected definitely to our source, our life force energy, that of which we are all made of, from, flows through us, to us, as us, through us. And so it brings me back to the conversation of what is showing up as a mirror in our own reality. And when I say reality, I mean like in our own space, in our world, in our relationships. Is there friction showing up? Is there confusion? I noticed in this last week how the dogs were just really needy and underneath my legs, and it's not their normal behavior. And I felt like I was getting a lot of things done, and I felt really good about where I was going in life, but didn't realize that it's really easy to get back in a pattern, and there can be this underbelly of franticness in the momentum, and they're picking up on it. And what was really being called for was this exact thing, which is so beautiful how it aligns and births through, right? So as we clear away the things from last week, and as we're really coming to the cycle of endings to open up to new beginnings, I was realizing it's time for me to move back over to my office space. And there were beautiful 3 days a week where that was just like calling primo, because it was quiet, because there's work I need to do in devotion, because there's work to create, birthing forth from me in this year of harmonizing. And so this harmonization energy is inviting us to slow down. Where where can we ramp up in our devotion, and where can we slow down in all the physical things we're doing that's breaking our body down, right? It's constantly, you guys know, the feeling. I've been there before too, where you don't feel like you can stop, but you really want to. But all you're feeling is burnout and resentment and exhaustion and overwhelm and all the things in the day, because you're driven and you're ambitious and you have things you want to contribute to the world. But you also want to be present for your families. You want to be present for your relationships. And sometimes something's got to give, and we don't always know what that is. We forget to delegate. We start to take on the I can do it all. And the partnership aspect that's coming through is asking us to remember that we're not alone, that we can truly access the wisdom within us when we slow down, and we can be more at peace with delegating or including or asking for the help. Hi, Shelley Smith. Elle, you didn't know it was two of spades, right? And you're the ace of spades. So it's the invitation into more, invitation into partnership. You don't have to do this by yourself. You don't have to do it all. And it's this energetic, we're taking on the world. It's this energetic desire to have our cake and eat it too. And you can. I know that you're a multitasker, like you're the multitasker like a mother, right? Like you can do it, but it doesn't always make space for what's truly being called for within. So today's message is really that invitation into ritual, that inner essence, knowing that inner essence of you, really feeling what it is to be in alignment and what your definition of alignment may be. I was speaking earlier to, I didn't know what that word was a couple years back. It was intriguing and I liked the feel of it and I wanted to know more about it, but it was new vocabulary, being in alignment, inner essence, um, your divine self, your higher self. Like they floated around as words, but they didn't really land in meaning until I journeyed within with permission to be all of me. And that journey to being all of you and discovering your inner essence is in being willing to stop denying those places you're compromising you first. You're giving it all away to everyone else, to where you're so confused in who you are and what you think you need to, should, or have to be, that you're at your breaking point and you know that something's got to give. Want the cake? You can have the cake and you can eat it too. But what happens is we get in this roller coaster of beliefs. We shouldn't, because we should, whatever it is. And it's that sacrificing energy that comes through in life, and it shows up in the underbelly of how we feel about our finances, what we think is possible in life. Where's the joy and the adventure and the freedom that we want to feel? And then we feel like we have to give something up for it, instead of reminding ourselves or introducing ourselves to the and in the sentence. We can have it all and feel peace and feel joy. Hello, Lynn. Thanks for joining. And feel the momentum that comes when we honor ourselves in the devotion. And so I was thinking about this today in terms of what's been up in the last few days for me. Those spaces where we pretend, like our mind tells us we're doing it, but then we're physically not really doing it consistently. You guys ever have those spaces? The space between the space between the truth and what's really happening. But that's where the beauty is. It's in the discovery of who we are, right? Of what we want. We sometimes ruminate back in, I don't believe that I have time for that. And then the belief gets embodied into our body with emotion. And then we really believe the limitation. And so this work that we do, the self-mastery and knowing ourselves through the numbers, through advanced numerology, welcomes us back into remembering our purpose And the two is asking us to make that partnership and connect back in purpose, to eventually be of service, to share with others what you've learned, to be able to move through by you going first. So those of us as moms, mompreneurs, us first. The energy that ripples from that, the kids will benefit from. But if we hold resentment and we hold burnout, they're getting that energy too, no matter how much we're trying to fake it till we make it. And so today's energy is welcoming us back into that peace, that ease, that inner essence that is not all of those other emotions that we think. It's not the busy schedule. It's not how much we can do. It's not the martyr of being so busy we have time for nothing else. And the invitation to come back, like for me, the ritual has been come back to yoga in the morning, even if it's 10 minutes, sit with my journal. And for me right now, it's with the numbers, developing this relationship with the consciousness of the numbers and really feeling into how that feels in my business, in the conversation of the body. And it's really been opening up some beautiful awareness and really creating a space for devotion, for just letting the free writing come out. And then we discover more and more and more when we're able to do that about ourselves, right? Those moments before everyone's awake. I woke up this morning so early, but I was so excited to get my day going. There wasn't anything wrong. I was just up from sleep and ready to rock it. So I grabbed everything and sat by the fireplace and had a cup of coffee and spent that time. And it's really ingraining in. So to come to the numbers of the day and realize I'm already beginning to live them without knowing them. And so are you. You're feeling them. You don't have to know everything about numerology to feel the energy of today. So the choice is yours. If you find yourself more in this frenetic frenzy, you can immediately decide to find that moment of peace for you and take that action. So yes, I think you needed to hear this message today. I love it. Yeah, I'm going to do some quick readings. I have just a few more minutes. So if you want cards, Elle, I didn't get to give your cards yesterday when we were in Numerology Junkies. I spend all day Monday in there. I get such a beautiful time to do body breakthrough readings. So the link is above. If you guys love numerology and are curious to know more, come join me on Mondays in there. And then the other link that I have in there is for the Empowered Women Rising, where we come together as a group and we really expand conversation and growth and tools to help us continuing in these empowering choices to really build and create the life that we desire, because we are creators. We're not at the whim, and we get to become, in essence, the hero of our own story, right? You've heard of that, but really, what does that mean and how does it feel when we're in the space between of that? Okay, so Lynn, I saw yours first, so I'll pull you a card, and Shelly and Elle. Let me go back. Elle first, then Lynn, because I owe Elle one from yesterday. So Elle, for you, I have this beautiful 8 of hearts. So community coming in strong, wanting to amplify your beautiful 8, that momentum of community, the momentum of what you're loving and building in your life is asking for you to keep going. There's still room for more. And when you do, it's telling me here that you could be in your mind. Some of that fixed mindset is really beginning to fall away to open up to more possibility and more self-expression. There's no wrong answer. It's whatever you want to create and how you want to show up in the world. So it's a reminder in those 3 8s today that you get to amplify that connection, that trust, that inner guidance, that inner knowing, and really allow that to become those offerings, those community connections, and moving your any fixed old patterns of thought out of the way so you can open up to the possibility that's equally available to you that wants to run in momentum. I know you're teaching the brain game right now as well, so it's possible that you're in momentum. I don't know what week you're on. We are actually, in my group, on week 8. So we are diving into our truest essence and alignment and amplifying that acceleration. So I love that. I feel like that's relevant. So let me know how that lands for you. And then Lori, for you, I have this beautiful 10 of clubs. So fulfillment And no matter what you're thinking, top of mind, what will bring the fulfillment, it is not outside of you, it is inside of you. So now we layer this on top of today's conversation. We layer this on top of the year energy of a 6 that's wanting to bring in love and harmony, but will also bring in those beautiful karmic patterns so they can be seen and felt and released. So, however that's landing for you, you're either on your way or the decision's been made or you're noticing where that's showing up. The next step is to let anything that you're feeling like you have to hold on to, control of the mind, that safety and security in the comfort zone, let it roll and fall away so it can birth into what's here, into the fulfillment that's coming next for you. Because when you do, I totally shuffled these, I promise. You have the fulfillment in your higher purpose. You have that fulfillment and higher calling. It's going to have you move out of your mind and into your heart so you can become your fullest expression as well and honor what's rebirthing for you so you can show up and truly be in your purpose as you do. So if anything is rising up in opposition of that today, that's an invitation to dive in, to learn more about you and what you want and why you want it so you can get back into alignment. And what's beautiful about that is for those who've gone through mastering the brain game, and those of you even here that have been through that, it's such a beautiful set of tools that realigns us back with ourselves so we can come back within when our humanness has us fall out, and it will. We'll be constantly evolving and growing and learning about ourselves. So we're never, 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 never done. And there's always a new layer, a new depth, a new want, a new desire. So let me know how that lands for you, Lynn. Lori says, yes, I'm finding everything within me. And you are packing today. Your packing is its own rebirth. I love that. Shelly. Let's go with, I'm feeling Shelly next, and then I'll get Lori a card, which is so good. I know I grabbed them. I wasn't sure if I was going to do some cards today, but why not? Why not discover the space between where we're thinking it has to be, what our body's asking us to pay attention to, and all the ways that we think differently and keep us from ourselves. All right, shuffled up. Here we go. Shelly. 2 of Hearts. So on top of the partnership with your devotion, your divine connection, you're invited into partnership in love. So I really feel like this is with you, with yourself, as you open up to that connection and stay devoted and trust, lean into the side of trust and your intuition and really tuning back into the connection within you. The disconnection falls away and invites you into partnership with love. It could be with someone, it could be with resources, it could be with yourself. But this is telling me that it's with you in love of nurturing your mind. So the queen is asking us to nurture, to nourish the mind, love all of the things that feel like, what the heck? I don't want to love that anxiety. I don't want to love all those mind patterns. But until we love them, we're resisting them. And what we resist persists. So if we can add that partnership. So it's kind of this, to me, it's feeling like a layer of the same thing. Your inner essence is requiring you to love where you've been, so you know where you're going. You can let go of the past, let go of the way the mind's held on to it, and nourish it, love it. So it reminds you that you're in choice. This beautiful 2 of Hearts is a choice to love or a choice to fear. And anything in the mind that's coming up that's not in a love, bliss, joy, that inner essence of you is asking to be seen and witnessed and sat with so it can move and transmute into what you want. So coming back to your tools as well in Brain Game and, letting go of the story, the excuses, the really truth that feels like it's true because the mind's been so used to telling us what we don't want, and really being open to receiving and curious to receiving new insight with that connection. Boast to God. Woohoo! You're here. Hi. Of course you can have a card. We still need to do your blueprint, by the way, Mr. 4. I have so much more information I can share with you now. It's so fun. Okay, Shelly, so let me know how that lands for you. And Lori, and then Bo. So excited. Bo, you guys, please click on his link and look about his hair care. It has completely changed my life. I was just messaging him and said that we have been knowing each other for 4 years, and I met him through somebody I used to do buy unique makeup from, and learned about his hair care products. My hair was falling out. It was really dry. I was having problem losing my hair, and it didn't take long for it to really regain health. And now 4 years later, I mean, you guys, it's like blonde and fine and still healthy, and it's amazing. So I can't say enough about it. I'll put a link for you actually below. That way you can shop away. And he's not paying me to say that. I just love it so much. And you know what? Oh, I just took it to the kitchen. I had my cup today, sharing my Bostagal cup, drinking my water. And of course, 4 is my number, and you're my birthday twin. Yes, you are my 2 of diamonds. So I can even tell you about your birth contract and your planetary ruler and all the different aspects of you and I that are very much alike, and some of your karma that's meant to navigate in this lifetime to bring in your blessings. There's so much we can talk about. So I'm super excited. Okay, Lori, right? Lori. Yes, Lori. Okay. So Lori, Jack of Hearts. So really inviting you, initiation, invitation into higher love, to Christ consciousness, to that connection with your higher source, God, source, universe. I don't know what that is for you. For me, it's God, but just really honoring that you are that energy, you are that consciousness, and to really step into more of that space of love. And the Jack invites us higher. Where can we be living in that higher and best version of ourselves? And do you keep getting the 6 of clubs? It's so wild. And when you do, you're opening up into your fullest expression of love and harmony. The 6s want to bring in love and harmony. But remember, the 6s are also karmic. And it's not as punishment. It's just these are lessons that you have been intended to learn through this lifetime, intended to work through and navigate to bring you into those empowering choices to live your best life, your literally highest and best possible outcomes in life. They come up to show you. So what's happening in your mind that's wanting to move through? This is also indicative of a decision. So you could be moving into a new place, like literally I was thinking of you moving today, but moving into this trust, moving into this, I'm okay with the unexpected. I'm trusting in that connection with my higher power. And I'm also leaning into letting go of how I've always held on to it in my mind, thought about it before, kind of letting the fear dissipate so I can invite myself into the experience of being the love and being the shining example and the mirror for others. And I feel like it really powerfully in your experience right now, you're being invited into that space more and more, into that trust, and knowing that, he's got your back and you've got you. And together, when you come together, it's unstoppable and unlimited in potential and possibility. So let me know how that lands for you. Lori Gallen, yes, you. That was yours. You can always go back and listen. No fears, and still not sure where you're moving to, but you're still calling it in. It'll be the perfect place. Perfect place for you. You don't have to know. Letting go of the outcomes is the hardest part when the mind wants to control how the outcomes looks. Source, God, spirit, universe knows way better, has better outcomes than we can ever imagine when we just let go and trust. Follow that pathway. Perfect. Okay. So Bo, are you ready? This is fun. When I'm on my business page, I never know if I have as many people tuning in, but lately when you lean into the unexpected, people come. It's very fun. Thank you for being here. Okay. I feel like I want to shuffle it extra. I'm nerve-sided. All right, Bo. So for you today, 3 of diamonds. So that creator, right? That creation wants to birth multiple ways for things to come into the physical for you. So this could be financial. The diamonds talk about finances. It can also be whatever you're wanting to birth into the world. And so for you, maybe you have new products coming, you have new ways to access those products, maybe new offerings, all of those things from that creative driving place from you, right? The things you want to build, your four is wanting to always build. So in your experience, whether it's at home, whether it's in your body, taking care of yourself, whether it's in finances, when you're bringing things into the world, and this is that two of diamonds influence as well, you really want to bring things to people. You want to contribute to the world, to people. You want to bring those new creative outlets in, and they want to amplify. So the other side of this could be reminding us that sometimes the mind can get taking off in loop and maybe feeling a little more anxious, maybe more worrisome. And it's a reminder to come back into your creation energy. So usually when that's happening, and I'm feeling the self-care piece for you quite a bit, but there's this piece of I'm so busy working in my work that I'm neglecting myself. And so when you think of today's contract energy, coming back to that devotion and partnership with spirit, like being willing to slow down and stay in that and trust the guidance and create those rituals for yourself that allow you to be centered first before you give. You're a big giver. You have a huge heart, but don't forget that you're part and included in that. You first, and that ripple effect impacts millions more powerfully than the depleted energy that you might be experiencing. So is there some sort of burnout that you're feeling, or even though you're loving what you're doing, there's a little exhaustion, or calling in time for you to spend time with yourself, maybe away or change your environment somehow? That's kind of coming through. And when you do, you have that foundation. Fours are foundation of the mind, of self-expression, of career and lifestyle. So that was pretty clear. Um, what is it that you're needing to do to open that up for yourself, make a little more space, even if it's 5 to 15 minutes, just so you can get in habit of moving it forward, coming back to you, setting that foundation in you first, and allowing that to express even stronger out into the world. I feel like you know this. I feel like you know how that works when it comes to business and pulling your creations out into the world. But this is asking for body as well. So really coming back into you and prioritizing you too. So let me know how that lands. Just started the adoption journey, and this is important for me to center my personal life. So making the space, oh my gosh. And three, right? Adding in another person, another piece into your environment. Definitely making space with that. For whatever it's worth, like reach out. Let's have a conversation on that, because I can help you. Um, and I want to hear more. But that's really beautiful. So yes, things are working. You've built the foundation. Your business is flowing. You have the support. You have the love and the guidance around you. And it is okay for you to peel back those layers and create space for you. And that can feel really scary when you're ready on always on the autopilot of going and going and going. So that journey today, I feel like, is inviting you into seeing where you can create even more momentum in your personal life, in that love you're wanting to create, and that family bond for you, by allowing yourself to stumble through that now and set that foundation. And that's going to be that leaning into the unknown we're talking about. It's going to be that being willing to move some things, to shorten the schedule, to create the space so you can feel what that's like and find where you can build more of it. So you're going to be able to find that you can have both. You're not going to have to sacrifice love for money, business for family. There's an and statement in there. And if you have any of those fears or anything in your body, we can work through and clearing those, which I think is so beautiful. You are two of diamonds, like me in my birth contract. I very much know what that feels like. And I know where I still work on that, and I know where I've been able to clear it. And so for whatever it's worth, that's coming through. That would be really fun to talk about some more. You're beautiful. Birthing, right? Birthing in all the ways. The death and rebirth cycle of our ego mind, the death and rebirth cycle of literally bringing things and birthing things into the world, whether it's people or a purpose or physical things, or many of those, or a new way of looking at things. They're all intertwined in that beautiful, beautiful pathway. And what I love doing with the numerology is showing people their pathway to peace, showing you your pathway to peace. It's all aligned for you. And so you can work through the patterns of the mind, work through the habits in the body, and see them so clearly, so you can now navigate that energy when it shows up instead of feeling defeated from it. So good. Oh, I love that, Lori. Yeah, right? And congratulations, Bo. You're a blessing to the world. I need to actually have you come on and talk. I just want to have conversation and share you with the world. Like, I think it'd be really fun. So I have to remember to reach out for you on a side complete note. But that's kind of feeling really complete for me today. So, really feeling into the momentum of today, really calling to you to come back into partnership with Source, and then layering these readings on top. What else shows up for you? That self care piece, whatever has been present, you're worth it, right? You deserve it. You can have it all. You do not have to sacrifice. And if you need help, let me show you that pathway. Give me an hour and I can show you a clear pathway to bringing more peace into your body. So I love you guys so much. My intention is to come live tomorrow again. So hopefully I'll see you on another day and time. And I hope you have a most beautiful day. Okay, guys. Bye for now.